Honorable
Trying to
mentions.
find
Honorable
the-
mentions.
Oh, honorable mentions. Yes. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Let me pull up my list because I made a little playlist. Okay, cool. Honorable mentions. I got a couple of them. Slick Rick, Child's Story. If you've never heard of Slick Rick and Children's Story, it is an insane song. It's a full roller coaster. Check it out. Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Yes, that guy bounced by. I used to love her.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have took that out, but I respect it.
Well,
And then
to me,
one more.
To me, it's the pop punk equivalent of Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I think it's up there with that one,
Yeah,
and so
that's
I was like, I'm just gonna say all the same things I would have said about Bohemian, or I already said. So it was less of a this doesn't deserve to be here, and more of a let's not repeat myself.
Gotcha. All right. Actually, I got three more. I'm sorry. So let me keep going.
You're good.
I got Lover, You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. An amazing artist. He died way too soon. I have a Billie Eilish song called I Don't Want to Be Here Anymore. She's not talking about having sex with dads, and so I really appreciate that. So that's pretty cool. And then I have a tattoo of the song. I don't know how it didn't make my list, but Lost by Annie Mingo. Yeah, that's me.
How about Lost?
Have you seen the interview with Rainn Wilson from The Office and Billie Eilish?
I've seen parts of it. I have never watched The Office, so I don't hold
should.
dear to my.
Uh,
I'm more of a Parks and Rec kind
hey,
of guy myself.
man. Well, here's the question.
Well,
What do you think about awkward and cringe humor?
So it makes sense that you like it, Mike, because you were talking about that TV show about having sex in a
bathtub. Not what this show's about, but yes. Episodes. The show about remaking a British sitcom for American audiences.
Yeah, so it makes sense that that's the vibe that you enjoy. I personally don't like awkward humor.
Yeah, so you probably won't like The Office then.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen why am I losing her
Scott
name? Amy
Stotts?
Poehler's character?
I don't know.
No. The idea that The Office has awkward and cringe humor, but Parks and Rec doesn't is absolutely ludicrous.
Well, especially season 1, Parks and Rec. But there's the ratio of awkward to absurd humor is, I'd say they're inverse. So like I like The Offices when they do the absurd humor. That's like one of my bread and butter. But the awkward, cringy stuff, not so much. And I feel like those two ratios are flipped on each of the shows. And I just,
That's fair.
I just hate Michael Scott. He is an awful person, which is the whole point. But you know,
Well, it's only the point in season 1. From season 1 or 2 on is they really start working on like Michael is awful, but he's like you see what he's trying. Like he's trying to be a good person. He's just so bad at it, and I think Michael Scott's honestly an incredible character. In terms of like you gradually get to see some of what made him how he is, and you get to see him trying to grow. It's just very slow, and it is painful at times.
I do like the more heartfelt parts with him and the other cast members. So.
Like I think Michael is up there with Barney in terms of like brilliantly written characters that don't get credit for being brilliantly written characters.
Barney?
Stinson.
Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Not.
Oh, okay. Well, I was so confused for a second. I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about the dinosaur. Holy moly!
He goes from sleeping with all these women to what kids show are you talking about?
Yeah, Barney Stinson, right? Yeah, the purple dinosaur. Yeah, I've seen clips of The Office that makes me think that I might enjoy it. That Fettuccine, that Alfredo Fettuccine one.
Got a carbo load.
I've seen when they're driving and they run into like a lake. That was pretty. That's pretty
Great
funny.
It means veer left.
And then when Michael Scott is in New York and he's like, I'm gonna get a slice of pizza at my favorite pizza spot, and it's Sbarro's. So there are some clips that makes me think that I would enjoy the show, but yeah, who knows? I think honestly, I think Chris Pratt did such a good job in Parks and Rec. He just has some hitters on that one, some lines that I've come to understand are improvised. So
Speaking
I looked up your symptoms on WebMD, and it says you have network connectivity issues. Is one of my all-time favorite television lines. Period.
which, so I ran every now and again I do a straw poll on Instagram, and I put which show has the better Andy, and it was Parks and Rec and The Office. And
Oh well, no question. Parks and Rec has it.
2/3 of the Pizar boys are wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. And Tim is my favorite for his answer. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
Yeah, Andrew and Jacob both chose Andy Bernard as better than Andy Dwyer.
I like The Office more than Parks and Rec, but Andy Dwyer is so much better than Andy Bernard.
Which
my favorite.
That said, I would love to watch the two of them do a duet together.
My favorite scene isn't the connection one is pretty funny, but when they were talking about comeback stories, and he said Kim Kardashian, and they were like, she didn't have a comeback story, and he was like, well, I saw the video, it's definitely coming her back.
I don't remember that. Oh my gosh,
I don't remember. That's hilarious.
I thought you were gonna say when he was like telling this story where he like he and hypothetically he dies and he comes back and he sees that Chris is married April. He's like, but it tears me apart. How could you do that to me? I thought you were my friend. I thought that's what you were saying. I love that bit too.
No. Yeah, that's good. Wow. I think we need to talk more about this kind of stuff.
I agree.
I've liked today's podcast
I don't know.
with the music.
Good.
No, it's good to mix it up.
Yeah, for sure. And then since I still have the mic, I'm gonna do Pablo Boat by Where's the 5'9" and J. Cole.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you didn't put For Your Eyes Only before you.
Bro, that's crazy that you said that, man. Oh my gosh, what an amazing song. Pink and White just really beat it out, but I think the reason why is that I had to listen to the song like 4 or 5 times to really love that song, and but that song I hold so hard, so dear to my heart too. But it didn't, especially coming off of Forest Hill Drive. For Your Eyes Only was such a different album for me that I wasn't like emotionally healthy enough to like handle it. But as I got older, I went back to it and I was like, oh no, this is so intentional what he's doing.
Yeah, I would have bet money that would have been your number one. So.
Yeah, I appreciate I love you, Robert. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, I like that song though with Royce the 5'9".
We're just friends.
Dang. Yeah, what is the piling up bros like it was clothing on the dresser?
Yeah.
Is that J. Cole's line?
Yeah, J. Cole's line. So good. So good.
So my honorable mentions, I'm gonna just pick a few here. Most of them, like I said, check the video notes in the YouTube description for my final round playlist. But I got I Never Wanted by As I Lay Dying. It's just a very raw and emotional song, and that's by a Christian metal band. It talks about like how much Christ changed his life, and like originally he didn't want any of this. He thought it'd be like the death of his freedom being a Christian and all that, and it's really well done. Next one I have Acid Rain by Chance the Rapper. It's just such a clean beat, and I love the lines he spits on there. As I said, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And then I felt like I had to put Stairway to Heaven on there, so I'm just going to throw it in too, because it's such a beautiful song, and it's like a whole trip. And I think going back, the songs that really hit me hard are ones that tell a story, like on the first listen when you first listen to it. The ones that hit me hard are the ones that tell a story, and that it's just a whole story in itself. And I love the guitar solo. I understand why it's banned from Guitar Center, because I'm sure everyone was playing that, but it's such a good song.
What is Stairway to Heaven about? It's just by somebody dying?
No,
Really?
it's about
Drugs, right?
No, it's, well, lyrically, if you look at just the lyrics, I think there's some other stuff. It's about someone that like bought everything they could on Earth, but still wasn't finding happiness. So they end up buying a stairway to heaven, and then they found out that even in heaven they couldn't buy anything. The stores were closed, and like that basically materialism isn't the way to happiness and all that. And then apparently, if you listen to it in reverse, it says something about Satan. Which so there's a whole theory, and there's other rock songs that like very barely might say something about like Satan or some other thing. It's like I just think some people were like half listening to it. It's like, did they just say Satan? Oh, it's the devil, you know? Yeah, it's.
Have you seen the 70s Show episode where they make fun of that?
I have. I've seen all of it, but I don't remember.
It's Fez, his host parents are like trying to show him. They're playing the album backwards, and they're like, "There, can't you hear it? It's as clear as day. Devil love me, devil lives," and it's like total gibberish.
Yeah.
And then Fez starts laughing. They're like, "What's so funny?" He's like, "In my language, that means I want to sex your monkey," and. That bit cracks me up. That's what I think of now whenever people talk about play it backwards. It's devil worship. Like, no, it's not.
Also,
it's worse. It's bestiality.
Cares? Like, who listens to albums in reverse? Like, who? It's like if you wanted to get some satanic message apart, that's not the way to do it. Like around.
Right.
Yeah. Also, like, really good, like, not wordsmithing, but if you able to do that backwards, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, you have to give your props for that.
Well, with enough acid, you can do anything.
Is that gonna make a podcast?
John Goodman and 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Is his character on acid in that movie? Is that what got
No, but he does dump entire bodies into vats of acid.
I see, okay. I've only seen it once, so...
Yeah, what a pull.
Love that movie.
It's a good movie.
Let's see, honorable mentions. Obviously, Welcome to Black Parade was on there. Crazy good tune. What's the first track from 21 Pilots Vessels?
Go to sleep?
Yes. Where it's like the whole point is just to get you ready for how nuts and tonally inconsistent the rest of the album's gonna be. Because I've played that song for people, and I was like, yeah, that's the first track, and they're like, wait, that was one song? Yeah, honestly, most of that album really good.
Yeah. I really love 21 Pilots, but I felt like none of them hit. That's one of the ones where it's like, I like it, listen to it, but then when I really go back and listen to it, like look at the lyrics, I like it more and more, so I felt like I couldn't put
That's fair.
21 Pilots in mine for my first time.
I mean, it was just it was another, like, this is what music can be.
Mm-hmm.
She's Only Happy When She's Dancing by Bryan Adams off Reckless. Great tune. And then The Stand, which is a worship song that got played to death and got to the point where I absolutely hated it. But the first time I heard it was covered by the Life Church worship band, and the dude on drums went just freaking
That's when it hits
nuts.
hard. Yeah, I love The Stand.
And like it's better live. Like, they don't do it justice in the recording, which is another issue I have with a lot of just Christian music in general. Is like, you can play good music, you don't have to be boring and timid the whole time. But yeah, when the live band would do it and it was just the drums were popping off, that was the first time I ever got just swept away by just the anthemic nature of a song like that. That was super cool.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there's got to be a bunch of songs that I can't really think of off the top of my head that got played kind of in the same vein that just got played to death, and I stopped liking them.
Yeah, and it's also like the only worship song when done correctly. It's like a little drum solo in it, and it just hits differently. I heard it first at Teen Classic, which probably was a Life Church band covering it, but it was great song, and most bands will do justice.
Who was playing? Who was on the drums?
Probably for
Josh?
me it was probably John Ronke
Or Ben. Could have been Ben for Teen Classic. Ben Fisher.
Yeah, Josh. Josh is he was just at Life Church Livonia, and he's gotten so much better. He was already good, but
Josh.
he's gotten a lot. Yeah,
dude.
If we're talking about
Me and him. Yeah, Josh was and I were in a band together when I was in high school. He was in middle school and he was tearing it up on drums. That dude is stupid talented. His dad.
Churches pay him to play.
Oh, I believe it. His dad did this thing. He came down our last practice before we had a show, and he was like, "All right, guys, I want to pray with you, before you wrap practice." And we're like, "All right, whatever. This is kind of weird, but we'll roll with it." And like, he got us all in like a circle and took hands, and he goes, "Dear Lord," and none of us were ready for it because we were just like a bunch of lily white kids in a basement, and we were just like, "What is going on?" And then all of us like open our eyes, and Josh is like on the ground laughing because apparently he just did that to people to mess with them. Like, he just get them all in a circle, get them to bow their heads, and then just pray super black just to make them uncomfortable. It was great.
Me and Josh were just telling every white person that we were related, and nobody questioned it at all. Like, it's just because we have kind of the same skin color.